So you look at the box at the bottom, you can see the attacks that are happening right now, exactly right now, and the severity of the attack and the location of the attack. So these are all the cyber attacks happening right now as per Fortinet's real-time dashboard. So there's just one vendor. You can see the arrows emerging out of one location and then targeting some other location. You can see the direction. And the color of the arrow, it tells you how severe it is. If it is red, it is critical. If it is orange, it is a high security event. Okay, and blue is medium and green is low. Look at another vendor. So this is Kaspersky. Again, many of us, we deploy these softwares. And here you can see the threat map. Okay, this is again the real-time threat map. So you can find out as per the location you select, the vulnerabilities and all the stuff, right? So these are just two vendors that I have shown you. There are a lot of other vendors who sell firewalls, who sell antivirus softwares. All of their databases put together. Just imagine at the present moment, how many attacks might be happening. So that is the real-time cyber threat map that we are talking about. And this is just about the devices or about the softwares that are deployed in different machines across the world, which are showing you the threats. Now there are thousands and thousands of other machines which are not installed or which are not protected with any firewall or installed with any antivirus software. So all this put together, you can now imagine the volumes of attacks that are happening at any given point of time. And that's the reason why information security education and awareness program is conducting training programs of this sort to make people realize that they are under constant threat, the cybersecurity threat, when they are using devices like mobile phones or devices like laptops. And in future, we'll be using a lot of IoT devices. And most of us already use smart watches with some Android operating systems and other operating systems, right? Now, social engineering is an organized process. It's a term used for a broad range of malicious activities accomplished through human interactions. It uses psychological manipulation to trick users into making security mistakes or giving away some sensitive information. These attacks can be carried out through people or through devices, through technology. So through technology, we have a lot of attacks again, either through emails or through USB drives or through Wi-Fi access points. Or if you're using a mobile, then through an SMS or through a QR code. Or people might directly telephone you and get hold of some sensitive information. Or people may come to your system posing as help desk people and then gaining access to your system physically, and they can then perform the attacks. How are these attacks carried out? Email phishing. All these attacks, they make use of emails to gather information or to exploit a vulnerability. Now, what is a vulnerability? So, not every software that we install in our machine is perfect and ideal. So, it may be so that it is secure as told by the vendor up to the testing that they have done. Now, there might be certain bugs which are not tested, which are not revealed at all during that point of time. But then later on, they can be revealed. So in that case, if there is a bug, there is a vulnerability. So somebody can exploit that vulnerability. Now, email phishing attacks are normally launched to exploit any vulnerability in any software that is deployed in your machine. What kinds of software? Operating system, maybe you have not uh, purchased a licensed version of it, or operating system when you have purchased a licensed version, but you have not updated it. You have not installed the updates. It could be equally good for both mobile phones as well as laptops and computers and servers, whatnot. Any kind of a device that makes use of softwares. Or it could be some application like a Microsoft Word application or a browser or whatnot. Any software, okay, for which a latest fix has been issued or a latest update has been issued. So if you have not updated them, then you are vulnerable to attacks. Your system is vulnerable to attack. Now, baiting, it's a technique used to embed a known vulnerability and create a backdoor to achieve the objective by using USB sticks and CDs. Now, most of you know when you insert a USB stick, automatically the list of files, they get displayed. So that means when you insert a USB stick, some program is automatically opening other programs in the USB drive. Now, one of such programs could be uh, a program which is having a capability to create a backdoor program. What is a backdoor program? So it's again a software program which has a capability to bypass any any proper login mechanisms, but have a channel directly to the attacker's servers. So is the case with CDs. When you insert a CD directly, the files get opened. So that means the programs over there have the ability to, initiate themselves. Attackers can create a Trojan that will provide backdoor access to the system by either using the auto run feature or when a user clicks to open the files inside a drive. Now, what is Wi-Fi phishing? A fake Wi-Fi network can be set up, say for example, in a public place or in a park or in a restaurant or airport lounge or railway station or an internet center. A fake Wi-Fi network whose SSID is similar to that airport's name or similar to that restaurant's name will be created, and it will not have any password, and users thinking that it is a free service provided by that company, they directly connect to the router. But in reality, they are connecting to an attacker's router. So all your data, all your requests, they go through that router. We also have people-based attacks called voice-based attacks, or otherwise phishing through voice calls, which is also called as phishing. It involves a voice message and tricks users to leak sensitive information. For example, sir, Jagdish Garu, if you can play this out. Okay, I will play it out. So so he gets a phone call to confirm the OTP.
Mom, shall I play it from here, mom? Sorry.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Thank you, mom.
Yes, please.
सर आपके एटीएम कार्ड के लास्ट 8 नंबर कंफर्म कीजिए।
53447634।
सर एक्सपायरी डेट
July 2024।
सीवीवी नंबर
994।
सर आपके फोन पे 6 नंबर का कोड भेजा गया है, उसे कंफर्म कीजिए।
612333।
थैंक यू वेरी मच सर। आपका नया हाई सिक्योरिटी एटीएम कार्ड 2 दिन में आपके घर पे पहुंच जाएगा। और एक बात सर, कृपया आप अपना डेबिट कार्ड नंबर और ओटीपी नंबर किसी से भी शेयर मत कीजिएगा। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you so much।
हेलो सर, हम एसबीआई बैंक से बात कर रहे हैं।
जैसे कि आपने खुद देखा कैसे ये लोग स्मार्टली हमारा बैंक अकाउंट से पैसे चुरा देते हैं। कोई भी बैंक मैनेजर या बैंक कर्मचारी आपको कॉल करके आपके क्रेडिट कार्ड या व्यक्तिगत जानकारी नहीं पूछता। कृपया किसी अनजान व्यक्ति से अपने क्रेडिट कार्ड नंबर, डेबिट कार्ड नंबर, सीवीवी नंबर या ओटीपी शेयर ना करें। अगर आपको इस तरह के कॉल आए तो वह नंबर साइबर क्राइम पुलिस को दें। साइबर अपराधियों से सावधान रहे।
Yes, ma'am. The privileges are given, ma'am. Back.
Okay, so what you have seen is phishing through voice calls, which is also called as phishing. And I'm assuming many of you have got such phone calls or SMSs. So phishing attacks, they fall under social engineering and sending false mails and links that appear to come from legitimate sources. And these sources look very close to genuine sources with minor differences. And victims are tricked into sending their personal or sensitive information. And this information is used by attackers for their malicious purposes. This normally used to know passwords, account numbers, credit or debit card numbers, pins, and this data directly goes to the attacker's database. Phishing as a service is, in demand, and phishing economy is getting industrialized. So people are performing phishing in exchange of money. And like antivirus kits, like Microsoft Office kit, people are now selling phishing kits for targeting enterprise users. So these phishing kits have got a lot of tools for attacking the target websites or target servers. Most of the time, these activities are performed for credentials access. So login, password, or any kind of access to any system. So as you can see here, Akamai's recent report, 2021 report. So this shows daily web application attacks, okay, website or related programs attacks. So you can see the spike, the rise in the number of attacks in June and then in October and so on, right? And the blue line, the blue graph shows you the financial service related attacks. And look, you can see around in November, the number of attacks have grown up like anything. Similarly, jamming of the servers using DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service attacks. So you can see the numbers are also raising. So Akamai observed so many web attacks globally, with many of them in the financial services sector alone. So now, malicious software or malware is something through which the attacker performs the activities he wishes to be done. in the target systems. So what does the malicious software or malware do? It does whatever was told by the attacker. So that means it does whatever it was programmed for, whatever the program of malware is written for. What can it do? It can encrypt your data and demand ransom. It can irritate you with a lot of advertisements. It can record the keystrokes, the keys that you're typing. So it could be in something related to your username and password or OTP or some sensitive information. So they can steal your credentials. So how do these malicious softwares get into your computer? One is when you visit some web pages and click on some links, or when you try to download some material from some web pages which are not genuine, or they may come as an email attachment, or through USB stick or other media, they can come in as files. So when you click on an email attachment, like a PDF or a Word document or a PPT or some other kind of an attachment, a JPEG, now they may be having a malicious program attached with them. So then you might be downloading some files through torrent. Torrent as such is a good program, is a good application. But the file that you're trying to download using torrent might be infected. Normally, using cracked versions of softwares like Windows, you're leaving a lot of doors open for attackers and other programs to come and stay in your PC. How do you know there is malware in the system? Increased CPU usage. So your system becomes very slow. It may sometimes hang up and may not respond to any mouse click or command. There might be some strange icons appearing on the desktop, or there might be some strange files in the folders. Certain files may be encrypted or certain files may be deleted. Viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware, spyware, adware, botnet, keylogger, all these are different names for malwares. There are many more. I have given you only a few of them here. And there are lots of different types of malwares available. Like for instance here, when I say virus, there are several types of programs, several names for these viruses again. Virus is just one class, and you have many viruses of a lot of variants rather. You have many worms, many trojans, and so on. There are lots of different types of malwares available, with some more harmful than others. So around 230,000 new malware samples are produced every day, and each strain has its own individual way of infecting and damaging the computers. Like for instance, I have given an example here about ransomware. Okay, WannaCry is one malware which is of type ransomware. Ransom means money. So when this malware gets into any system, it demands ransom. So how is that done? Look at here, look at the last box, the white box that I'm trying to project. It says, send $300 worth of Bitcoin to this address. Okay. And remember, the transaction is totally anonymous and we do not know who is there on the other side. So all the files are encrypted and all the documents, photos, videos, databases, and other files, they're no longer accessible because they have been encrypted. And now to decrypt them, you need a key. And to get the key, you need to pay this ransom of $300. So recently there was a report by Sony. So they, the researchers in that company say there are 623.3 million attacks globally. And this total marked a 105% increase over 2020. And it has grown up by 3 times from 2019. Now, how do you check that a particular file is a malware or some website that you're visiting is trying to fish out information from you by making you download some malwares, or how do you do all that? So let me show you one program called Virustotal.com. So this helps you in checking whether that file or that website is not genuine or is genuine or not. And to avoid these malwares, you need to make use of antivirus softwares. So let me show you. Let me show you this. So this is the website. Okay. Let us check if a given website so I'm just typing a domain name, a rough domain name. So you can check with any domain name. Okay. So I'm typing the domain name, selecting URL, and then asking it to check whether this is a genuine website or not. So 3 vendors have marked it to be, phishing website or contains malware or gives you spam, right? Now, if you type something like google.com, you can see here all the vendors, okay, all the security vendors. Who are they? They are all people like Bitdefender, people from, products like Bitdefender, Kaspersky, Fortinet, Malwarebytes, all of them. Okay, all the antivirus makers and all the companies that make these devices, okay, for finding out whether it's malware or not. All of them said this is a genuine website. It doesn't, it's not malicious. The other way is to find out using the ID of that file. So if you have downloaded some file and you are suspicious whether it is genuine or not, so just type the ID. So say search and then type the ID and look. I've just shown you WannaCrypt ransomware, right? So this is the ID of that ransomware. And look, 59 security vendors and 2 sandboxes flag this file as malicious. And what do these vendors say? This is a Trojan ransomware and is of type WannaCrypted. So it encrypts the file. So all of them have said this is a Trojan and is a ransomware. So you can check. So how do you generate this ID? So you can make use of some hash calculator or any online calculator, or you can download a hash calculator and calculate the hash and then feed it to virustotal.com. Or you can directly upload the file. So I have downloaded one malware file to show to you people. Look, so I have uploaded a file which I downloaded from the internet. I am suspicious whether it is genuine or not. So before installing that software, I submitted to Virustotal. Look here. So it marks it as malicious, and later Trojan and emoted malware. So this is how Virustotal can help us. And if you have antivirus softwares, if you're trying to visit some web page or trying to download some file, now it can scan and tell you whether it is a genuine file or not. Okay. So let us go back to our presentation. What is the impact of malware? What if the malware gets into your system or into your company's servers or systems? So Sony Pictures hack. In 2014, a hacker group which identified itself by the name Guardians of Peace, it leaked a release of confidential data from the film studio Sony Pictures. The data included personal information about Sony Pictures employees and their families, emails between employees, information about executive salaries at the company, copies of the then unreleased Sony films, plans for future Sony films, scripts for certain films, and lots of other information. And the perpetrators then employed a variant of Shamoon Viper malware to erase Sony computers' infrastructure. Okay, so it's not just leaking the information, but it's also about wiping out all the data in their computer infrastructure. Why was all this done? So they were against the release of a movie called The Interview, which is a comedy about a plot to assassinate their leader. Okay, so Sony had to cancel the mainstream release and released it digitally the next day. And US theaters, they did not screen that movie on that day. Similarly, 2012 LinkedIn hack is popular. I collected this data from Wikipedia. So what was this about? So 2012, it says 6.5 million user accounts were stolen. Okay, so that means passwords, email IDs, and lots of other information is all in the access of the attackers. And later in 2016, an additional 100 million email addresses were again put on sale in the darknet. Okay, so it's not just in 2012, but 2016 as well. So they released additional 100 million users data. Netflix email scam. Here again, hackers have targeted more than 110 million Netflix subscribers with an email scam and are said to have succeeded in stealing people's credit card details to a certain extent. So just imagine, even if 1% of these 110 million subscribers respond back and they click on the link that they received in the email, they fill the form with all their credit card data, the attacker's job is done. So a lot of other, organizations are said to be attacked, like the Ukraine power cut was a cyber attack, and many government organizations appeared in the media. Like, for example, the recent one, a big one, is the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack. On May 7, 2021, Colonial Pipeline, an American oil pipeline system that originates in Houston, Texas, and carries gasoline and jet fuel mainly to the southeastern United States, suffered a ransomware cyber attack that impacted computerized equipment managing the pipeline. In response, Colonial Pipeline Company halted all of the pipeline's operations to contain the attack. And with the assistance of FBI, Colonial Pipeline paid the requested ransom. How much was that? 75 bitcoins, which is 4.4 million US dollars. Just within several hours after the attack, they paid this money. And then the hackers sent the company a software application to restore their network. But later on, it operated very slowly. Even stock exchanges are not spared. Government officials keep getting a lot of mails with links or attachments. But here is a case where there was an item in the news saying many government officials got a mail, but luckily NIC could alert them all and there was no damage. So there are lots of malwares like Emotet, which affect the organizations badly by attacking their servers and the kind of stuff. How do the attackers know information? Like for instance, you have something like knowing information about which operating system, which version you are installing, is it up to date or not? What is your IP address? Which IP location you are in, right? So let me show you one way. So this Grabby filing, okay? So what does this do? So like you can use it for any website name. So I'm just using a demonstration website name. Legally, we are not permitted to use companies' mail IDs. Okay, so a link is created, okay, with some program attached to it. This does nothing. Like I'll tell you. I'm posting this in the chat window. Yeah. So I've posted it. One of you can click on this, there is no harm. I've posted a link. Someone can help me in by clicking on this. Anyone clicked on it? Please reply in the chat. Anyone? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So now you can see the results here. 9 of them click here. And okay. So you can see here the IP address. Now with the IP address, somebody can find out the location. Okay. And so I'm not loading all the data. So just you can see what system, Windows system, okay, 64-bit machine, and they're using Apple machine, okay, and they're using Chrome browser as well as Safari browser. Their host name is this. Okay, now somebody can further use certain tools to, more information about it. Somebody else clicked with the Android phone, right? And yeah, and somebody has Windows machine, then Linux, Android 10, Motorola, One Fusion Plus, then Apple, Windows, and so on, right? Yeah, the page doesn't load. The page doesn't load. Somebody is trying to get hold of your IP address, your machine, which, which operating system is loaded, what is the version, which browser you're using, is it up to date? So somebody is trying to gather all this information. You'll get nothing. So when you click on the link, it will take you to some page which is not existing at all. Right? Got it, Vikashji? Yeah. So now you know, if you click on some link just like that, and if you get some page like the empty page that you got, okay, that means somebody is collecting data from the behind. Never ever click that link. But here it's okay. I just erase that data off. So it's not an issue. That's fine. Hope you understood all of it. Yeah. So we'll go back to our presentation. That is one. Now, so this one will be like simple. Somebody post your mail ID here. One of you. So I'll show you how fake mails are seen. No harm. You can share your mail. Yes, I have one mail ID. So give me a second. Now, let me show you something. Let us check. It will take some time. Okay. Meanwhile, before it is received by my mail ID, I'll cover a few more slides. Okay, there are certain methods called Google docking, which helps you to refine your search and get more information about the target system, target enterprise, or targeted individual. Okay, so there are a lot of methods. Like you can actually use these specialized searches, and like for instance here, Okay, index of /etc/password. So you get all the links, right? With that /etc/password, so that you can click on any of them. And if the password file is fully open, somebody can go through it. So I'm not clicking on all this stuff, but just for the sake of completeness, you can see somebody has a lot of directories open in this, right? Like this. People can focus the search by, putting some specialized tokens out here. And we also have something like WP admin, which is WordPress related. And let me show you this. Okay, so you can see WP admins. If somebody has not done the settings well, their code is all open. Okay, somebody here, they have not done the settings properly, so the code is all out there. Okay, so let us not get into the details, but this is how people can gather more information about this. So by using your photos that you posted on the media, you can also check with tools like exit data, where the photo was taken, which camera, and lots of information that related to that. And similarly, we have what is called as Google hacking database, okay, which helps you in knowing a lot of information on the recently discovered interesting patterns, which people can use to get more information. Yes. So you can see here, now the mail has arrived. I got a mail from Vikas Chaudhary ji. So, and Vikas Chaudhary ji has never sent me an email till now. But yes, it has come out to me, and you can verify. This is the address he gave me in the chat. Okay, and I have got a message, click here to update information, visit this. Okay, so something like this. Click here to send some mail. Now, if I respond to this, say for example, if I click on that 10.0.2.5, look here, 10.0.2.15, sorry, 15. Okay, so when I click on it, I would visit a website. Now, this looks like a Google page, but is it a Google page? Genuine page? No, it looks like it's a clone of it. You can see here, there is no lock symbol, it's cancelled off. There is no HTTPS. There is no google.com or anything related to Gmail in the URL. So this is a fake link. Now, if I click that in my email and then visited this page and started providing some information like @gmail.com. And if my password is 123456789. So this is a demonstration account which we normally give to the students. Yeah, now the system has taken the username and password and again forwarded me to this. You see here, it forwarded me to the actual Google page. Okay, google.com, there's a lock symbol, there is HTTPS. Now there's a genuine page. So what did it do? When you click on the link, you're sent to a clone page, your credentials are collected, and you are forwarded to the actual page. Now I may think, okay, somewhere I might have mistyped my password or username. So I'll go to the Gmail again and then try to sign in again, right? But in reality, what happens at the background? Look at the attacker's terminal. You can see here, email is abbccc@gmail.com. Password is 12345. So like this, all the people who click on that email link and try to log into their Gmail or Facebook, whichever page is displayed there, or their own company's page, if they type the admin password or username password, that is all collected by the attacker server here. Now you know what is going to happen next. So how to avoid this? So the best thing is to provide multi-factor authentication. So you must provide an OTP or anything of that sort. Hope this is clear now. So never ever click on any links that come along with the email. How do you check whether it is a genuine mail or not? So for example, this Gmail service provider gives you this option. Click on these 3 dots, okay, and click on show original. And then if SPF is fail or DMARC is fail, if the status is fail, that means sender policy is not complied with. So the system itself tells you this is not from a right source. Okay. So even though the email ID is valid, it has not come from a genuine server. Somebody has spoofed, somebody has sent a mail on his name. That is what this system is saying. Hope you got it now. You can also check if you have more testing tools from where it has come and all that stuff. Okay, so this is done. Similarly, never ever reply to any Amazon offer or any KYC update from any bank, or never click on those links, and never forward any videos or images or links that come to you. So I'll show you how deepfakes are getting very popular, though not directly related to this topic, but I'll show you why you should not trust every message. So here you go. I'm sharing this application. So what do you see here? Somebody is talking to you, right? So I'm nodding my head here, right? So any celebrity's photo can be placed here, and they can talk, they can be given some voice, and videos can be constructed. Okay. And so this is an artificial intelligence program. Okay, hope you are able to understand this. So living or not living, still this can be done. Okay, hope you understood. That's right. That is called as deepfake. So when somebody says a website is hacked, or when you keep getting a lot of SMSs from unknown numbers, how do people know your mobile phones numbers or email IDs? How do you get all these spam mails or messages with absurd links? So usually we register with a lot of websites on the internet, and there might be a security breach that might have happened with that system, with that application, or with that website. So a security breach is any incident that results in an unauthorized access of data, applications, services, networks, and or devices by bypassing their underlying security mechanisms. Right? So, like for instance, you have one website called as snusbase.com. This is like Google. So Google helps you search for information related to individuals, organizations, places, lots of such stuff. And snusbase helps you in finding out information which was leaked in any website hack. Like for instance here, snusbase indexes information from websites that have been hacked and had their databases leaked. Our users have access to search for their emails, names, usernames, IP addresses, phones, password hashes, and much more. So they say we display every result in full as they were provided to us with only occasional edits to remove information that we are legally prohibited from storing. And we also frequently index public code documents, credentials, stuffing, combo lists, and maintain a large database of previously cracked password hashes, right? So now hackers can actually use such services to get information to launch the attacks by targeting the mails to you. HaveIBeenPawned.com. Now you may visit this HaveIBeenPawned.com website, HaveIBeenPawned.com. Okay, and type your email ID there. So I'm typing my mail ID here, mari@gmail.com. And I don't use this mail ID much. I use it only for these demonstrations and general communications. So look, so if my mail ID is registered with any website which was hacked and the database is leaked, then that website name will appear here. Now you can, all of you can test. Okay, you can visit this website and type your mail ID over there. So if you have found any pawnage, let me know. Post in the chat window. Anyone? Anyone typed your mail ID here? HaveIBeenPawned.com. Did you find any pawnages? Okay, what if you find your websites here with which you have subscribed with the same mail ID? The best thing is to change the passwords immediately. And if more than one website account, if you're using the same email ID to subscribe to, don't use the same password again. Okay, that is. So it's better if you're not using that website account anymore, it's better to delete the account itself. Otherwise, change the password. But never ever give the same password to multiple accounts. Yes, someone has found it in one data breach. Okay, so best thing is you either remove the account if you're not using it or change the password of that account immediately if it is showing pawn. Okay, then like this, those of you who are interested in knowing the latest database breaches, you can find it in this verizon.com breach report. Okay, I'm giving the link out here. So someone says pawned in Domino's. Yeah, Domino's most of you must have heard of its data breach that has happened. So all the customers' mail IDs and everything were made public. So it's better you change your account password immediately. And the best thing is to create a second account, okay, which you can use for subscribing to these services, these kinds of services, and one to your personal and official purposes. Right. So SMSs, sometimes you receive them like this, right? KYC update, click the link here. So, or sometimes even QR codes may lead you to, fake web pages. So how do you get these SMSs? You have something called as spoofmytextmessage.com. There's one service. There are many more websites like this. So senders mobile, receiver's mobile, license code, and the text message. Update your KYC. I don't have an account here, so I'm not sending it. Okay, but this is the way, spoof text. Right? So spoofing mail, spoofing phone numbers. I have shown you spoofing mail. I have sent myself a mail from somebody. Right. So that is one. That is called as phishing through SMSs, which is also called as SMishing or smishing. Now see, you might click on a link and you may end up with a cloned page of Facebook. Remember, whenever you're about to give your password of any account, check the link. You should have a log symbol. You should have HTTPS and then followed by the particular website's name. So just think over, why should Facebook website appear in the name of some San Augustine tourism and so on. So never ever enter your passwords in such fake pages. Now there are many ways, like mobile phones, when you click on a link that you receive through SMS. So here we have a small demonstration which we use it in demonstrating it to the students. So a mobile app which is malicious has been developed and it was hosted in a web server, and the link is posted to the victim through a mobile phone. Okay, and now when the user clicks on that link in the SMS or in the WhatsApp, that malicious application gets downloaded into that mobile phone, right? So once the application is downloaded and installed, now the user's device, the mobile phone, now it gets connected to the web server of the attacker. Okay, and a backdoor, a connection is established, right? So what happens next? Now, once the connection is established, now the attacker can know, look here, he can know this is Android OS, and he can remotely execute a lot of messages like dumping SMS, dumping all the call logs list, and also spoof SMS. So from his phone, he can send an SMS to somebody else. Okay, and set the audio mode, ringer to vibration, vibration to ringer or silent, right? So do all this stuff, transfer all those call logs and SMS dumps to the attacker server, transfer them, and then open those files over there and read the messages or process those messages. So this is one typical, way to get information from a remote phone. We did this in a LAN, in a local network. Okay, both my laptop and the mobile phone are connected to the same network. You have more sophisticated tools to remotely, do all this stuff in the actual internet as well. Though it is illegal, many attackers do it. So these are some of the important links, tools for anonymity and security. You have something called as Proton Mail, which offers you anonymity instead of accounts like Gmail. Like Chrome or Edge or Firefox, we have a browser called as Epic browser, which offers you privacy. So your searches, which links you visit, all that stuff is not known, not collected. The data is not collected. Then DuckDuckGo, a search engine like Google, so it offers you privacy. Then Signal app, it's like WhatsApp in functionality, but it claims to offer you complete anonymity and security. Then whenever you subscribe to some applications, some websites, just for small durations of time, you can use 10minutemail.com. And in case you have certain things like you have observed a video which is going viral, which should not. So you can go to stopncii.org. Okay, and register your case here. So you can send the video, a hash of it will be generated and will be circulated to all the websites that are circulating the video, so that those companies can remove out that video. Next, we have facebook.com/hack. If your account is compromised, go to this link and report it there, and you'll get the help. Anything related to other cyber crimes, you may visit cybercrime.gov.in and report your case here. Okay. And so if you have purchased something online and if you have a grievance, you can also go to consumerhelpline.gov.in. Okay, this is another website. Right. Then anything related to women and cybercrime, you can also visit ncw.nic.in. So the websites seem to be slow. Yeah. National Commission for Women. You can also visit this. Hope you have noted down the links. And remember to load any antivirus software and keep it up to date. And when performing banking transactions, so look for the genuineness of any message and never share your sensitive information with anyone on phone or on email or through SMS. And whenever you make a payment, look for HTTPS and the lock symbol. Okay, never share copies of your passbook or checkbooks, bank statements, KYC statements with strangers to avoid any misuse. Okay, whenever you get an email, look for the genuinity of from address and then to address. If that mail is going in bulk to several people, then you should not trust it. Similarly, look for the patterns. Okay, Bank of America, ARNERICA is the actual word, but it looks like America. If you're very quickly passing through, you might click on this link and end up going to a fake website. I've just told you credential stuffing and phishing attacks. Look, there are many more ways in which the attacks are carried out. So what you have listened to is just a drop in the ocean. But there is a lot of information available at infosecawareness.in, which is developed under ISCA project. So a lot of information is available to people of all walks of life. Please spread this website to all the people whom you know and your family members. Thank you so much. If there are any questions, I'm open to them. If there is time, of course.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful question. I think one question is, ma'am, can you please repeat this spoof mail
Which
kind
one?
of? I think the mail which was shown, ma'am. Not repeat, ma'am. You can just tell them so that we will share the video later.
Yeah, like I'll share it. Just
Please.
a second.
Please, ma'am.
I stopped the thing. This one.
Yes, ma'am. I think that website, ma'am. Spoof my text.
That one that should not be made public. I can share it through Jagdish.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question is, madam, like, what is darknet?
Which one, sir? Darknet?
What is darknet? What is
Yeah.
darknet?
So what you can search through Google is all on the surface web. So, but there is something beyond which Google cannot search or reach to that website. Okay, so darknet is something which is accessible only through certain tools. And I heard a lot of trade and wrong things happen out there, selling of wrong things, and a lot of stuff happens there. So what we see, the internet, the World Wide Web, surface web, is only a percentage of what actually is. Darknet is something which we cannot reach out to through ordinary browsers. Okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, SIM code can be cloned? SIM card
Yeah,
can be
SIM
cloned, ma'am?
cards can
Yes, ma'am.
be cloned.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they can be cloned.
Yes, ma'am. So OTP
Chatterjee ji, that spoofing mail, I'll share it with Jagdish sir. He'll share
Yes,
it to you.
sure, ma'am. And ma'am, another question is, so OTP get compromised?
OTPs, unless you share it, they don't get compromised. But one thing is like, there was a recent KYC attack. Airtel subscribers faced it, a few of them. So it is like some person sends an SMS and there is a link over there. He calls you, he tempts you, and he frightens you, he scares you, saying your SMSs will be stopped and all that stuff. And when you click on that link, some program gets downloaded, and that is normally the screen recording software. So these victims, they install that software thinking he's an Airtel guy or some telephone service provider guy. And what happens next is the other end has got complete control over the screen. Okay, he gets the screen recording right away when you install that application. So whenever you get an OTP, if you're opening that SMS message, he can see it from there. Got it? So he can directly, log into your application, provide your passwords and all that stuff and OTP there. So that is the reason why we are saying never answer calls, never share any sensitive information or OTPs to anyone outside. Not bank or bank or service providers. No one will ever ask you any OTP. You have to type it yourself on your page. Never install any application which service providers. So some people who pose as service providers ask you to install any application, never do that.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, another question is, antivirus need to be used is if endpoint security type or any other you suggest? For I think endpoint security, do we need to use any antivirus kind of thing, ma'am?
I didn't understand, sir.
Madam, the question is like this: antivirus need to be used is of endpoint security type or any other you suggest? I think for they are asking like endpoint security. do we have to use any antivirus softwares kind of thing, ma'am?
So if your company is taking care of all that stuff, that is fine. But I'm talking about individual users here.
Okay, fine. And ma'am, that demo of a mobile hack that you shown in demonstrated, will it work in iOS also? Will it work in iOS?
Yeah, earlier Apple phones were said to be very secure, but I think now a lot of stuff is coming in. You know Pegasus, right? I think it also hits Apple phones. Pegasus is a spying software.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, next question is what about safety of information shared on various service provider websites you mentioned?
Service provider websites.
Service provider websites you mentioned. Maybe what about the safety of information? Okay. Have I been you have shown the madam like there like what is the cyber security? Like what was the security of the website kind of thing?
Okay, how do you trust that have I been caught?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very popular one. And now you have given only your email ID, right? But you're getting all the accounts that you have registered with other websites, and you do have an account. So that itself shows it has got a lot of information.
Okay, ma'am. If possible, please allow presentation to be shared with the participants. We'll get
Yeah,
back to you.
presentation can be shared, but the demonstration thing can be viewed on the video only.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, how to remove the Trojan virus or other critical viruses if detected? It is
Antivirus software.
after cleaning these viruses appear, how to remove it permanently in the PC?
Yeah, you have to use antivirus software and thoroughly run it. Do the full scan and isolate the ones that it alerts you to.
Okay. Ma'am, can iOS be hacked as illustrated in the Android? Hello, madam, am I audible, ma'am? Hello.
Yeah. So I read a few articles saying even malwares can reach the Mac systems. So
Okay. Okay, ma'am. And the OTP can be received at the same time at original SIM as well as in the cloned SIM?
well, I'm not sure about the clone SIM.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you are the better person to answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Like, sir,
But screen recording software, yeah, with screen recording software, attackers normally know.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if they telephone you and ask you to install that, saying, will you have to install this to get your phone working again? So, but in the process, they get access to your screen.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, once the SIM is cloned, your original SIM, it won't work, sir. It will be deactivated, but it will always shows that like which is under network. But since the SIM is cloned, like you won't get any messages. All the messages will go to your cloned SIM only. SIM in the original SIM. How the people know bank linked SIM number and call us for a policy offer kind of thing. Yes, ma'am. How the people know banks linked SIM number and call us for a policy offer?
Yeah, like you might be subscribed to some websites, and then you may be making payments through some, some means, right? So it may be like they have n number of phone numbers, and of them, some X number of phone numbers might be having the bank accounts.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So yeah, they have hit positive only for half of the numbers they got access to. So it could be like that. on some website to which you have made an online payment, okay, and you might have provided your phone number when you registered, when you created an account with it. So it may so happen in that combination, it reached out to them.
True, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful session as well as all the questions you patiently answered. Thank you so much,
Yes,
ma'am,
sir.
for answering
Thank you
this.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Namaskar, all of you, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. And good afternoon, all. And we will be moving to the last but not least session. Are you all ready to go? Are we all ready to go to the next session? Please say yes or no in the chat area. Okay, I think there are a few more questions. How people know if I think this is addressed by madam already. How to minimize the frequently unknown email or spam in your box. Sir, see, for example, if you get emails, once you flag it as a spam, so next time onwards, it won't come to your your inbox, sir. See, for example, you received a mail, from xyz@hotmail.com. So if you flag it is a spam mail, you won't receive any further mail from that person or from that company into your inbox. It will go and it will go and stay in your spam folder or junk folder. Okay, so does end-to-end encryption work on normal SMS in WhatsApp? Sir, as we all know, like end-to-end encryption works only messages in the WhatsApp. Please try to understand, there is a lot of differences. Please try to understand. So end-to-end encryption will work only with the messages, nothing to do with the images, nothing to do with the videos. Okay, end-to-end encryption is work only with the messages, like whatever it is done. But at the same time, if those messages are stored any of the cloud storages kind of thing, there are chances that people can be seen. So, see, most of us, like whatever the storage, whatever the WhatsApp backup you are taking, it must be mapped to one of the email account, one of the cloud storage. So once if it is mapped to the cloud storage, there are always possibilities that other people also can see if you are not protected that folder or if you're not protected that file. Okay, hope it is clear to you. All right. Okay. I think many of the people have said like we can go ahead. So I'm just going ahead with the session, right? So this is the last but not least session. We'll move on. But as I said, like if you have any questions, you're always welcome to keep it in the chat area. So as and when if it is there, I will try to address those things. Okay. So this is the last session. In the last session, we are going to talk about what is social networking. I think Madam has already covered some of the aspects, and secured financial transactions and introduction to e-learning and assessment. Okay, so I myself Jagdish Babu, project manager for IACS CDEC Hyderabad, this thing. And in this particular session, we are going to discuss about like what is the social engineering, social networking, what are the advantages and disadvantages, and how do you secure yourself in the social networking thing. Okay. There is a small difference, these are the words we all will be listening regularly and frequently. Social media and social networking. So what do you mean by social media? Social media is a one-way communication, right? It is almost like a one-way communication, but whereas someone will tell you and you will be listening, most of the time you might not be responding to them directly, but you can participate in the chat room XYZ. But whereas in the social networking environment, one can talk to anyone, one-to-one it happens, many-to-many happens, many-to-one also it happens sometimes. So it is a social networking is a one-way, bidirectional or multi-directional. So all these things will happen. So this is how it happens in a typical social networking. Social networking is a service which is provided by the online platform used to build social networks and social relations with other people who share similar personal or career interests, activities, backgrounds, or real-time connections. Okay, you're all able to see, right? We have images like one image to it can have multiple connections. one person can have in any way, like whatever the way you can understand, try to understand. This is how the social network advantage. See, across the world, and you also can make friends with the people who are very far away from you, and you also can build your profile. Like what I mean by build profile is nothing but, by sitting in some location, you can send some some kind of information where people will participate. If they like, they may participate, they may promote, they may do number of activities kind of thing. And you also can represent yourself. Nowadays all the governments are also bringing up their policies, notes, and whatever it is, everything they're bringing up, and they're keeping it for public discussion. So you also can open up your voice, and you also can tell like what is that you wanted to communicate to the government or some other agency to whom they have done it. So that way you can represent yourself. Look at, this is what I am, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing doing to my society, this is what I'm doing to some XYZ things kind of thing. So you also can represent yourself, you can build your profile, and you also can make yourself represent yourself in the public domains. Okay, exchanging and sharing of information related to the studies, education, current affairs. And if at all, if you like the current affairs, you can join in the group and you can participate, you can gain knowledge. And if you are a sports lover, you can participate in the sports groups, and you can build your knowledge, or you can improve the knowledge in that particular area. And if at all, if you want to find out, subscribe the latest news updates kind of thing, you always accessing this, that newspaper and all such kind of things. So all these things are possible in the social networking, area also. At the same time, you also have to be very careful. Let me give you an example. It's not an example. I think one of the person has shared his problem in our WhatsApp group. So what happened? Like he has seen some advertisement in a Facebook, like where the dry fruits, like some cages of dry fruits, they're selling at $600 or kind of thing. So immediately paid the amount, and he never get back. He never get any dry fruits, or he and further to that, like what are the amount is associated with that number, no? The credit, he said, like he paid that money through credit card. So further, like they have withdrawn some 2 to 3 times from his credit card. Okay, so this is what it is happening. Now from morning onwards, we are talking only the proactive security. What kind of security has to be taken care while you are in a digital front, or when you are in a digital, in a digital media, or in a cyberspace. See, for example, when you are using some kind of social media, when you are accessing something, some pop-up will come. You can get these 1.5 kilos of A1 grade dry fruits at the rate of 800 rupees. If at all, if you are tempted, without seeing or without judging, like whether the website is correct or not, and if you provided your lot of information, and once you made your payment by using any of your credit card, debit card, UPI kind of thing, and that information also goes to them, all your personal information also goes to them. So you have to judge, like whether the website is true or not, whether the website is legitimate or not. So morning also some examples were given, and in the previous session also madam has discussed you clearly, like how do we find out a website, whether the website is genuine or legitimate or not. So those things has to be observed by an individual, So before you share any of your information, you have to be thoroughly check whether the website is legitimate or not, whether the website is correct or not. It is not only for dry fruits, whether it is an online shopping, ticket booking, movie tickets, whatnot. It is relevant to all these things. I think many of the people received a mail, you can movie, but did anyone got? Please say yes or no in the chat area. Did anyone got such kind of messages on your thing? Okay, if at all, if you got any such kind of links, yes. So Subhash Chakrabarti sir said like he got it, right? So without your knowledge, if at all, if you are clicking that thing, no, so you will be getting n number of pop-ups. N number of pop-ups will open, and movie cannot be downloaded. And by using the pop-ups, you also can't do anything. So in the meantime, like what are the time is there, like to closing the pop-ups, and your system might be hanged by the time. So by the time people will try to learn like whatever they want to do it. Okay, so that's the kind of thing which happens. So you can share and you can learn, but at the same time, don't click any of the links. That is what I mean to say. So these are the varieties of types of social networks: socializing, career and business opportunities, online matchmaking, online shopping sites kind of thing. So examples were also given. It's not restricted, it is not limited. There are so many, but only thing is like these are all very popular and maximum crowd is using these kind of websites kind of thing. Okay, I think this was discussed in the morning session also. So you'll see like what are the type of crimes which are happening on the pretext of supplying food, medicine, oxygen, other essentials, and luring people onto the online transactions and hacking the accounts. Okay, so online transactions, madam, as we have shown one example. Okay, creating a fake profile. So if I know some of your details, I can create a fake profile and I can defame about you in the social networking front or in the digital world. And filming and circulating the pornographic material in online and blackmailing, online blackmailing by threatening to share the images of intimate moments kind of thing. So these are the some screenshots which I have taken it from the media. Number of cybercrimes which are reported across the country in 19, 20, and of course 21 we have seen aggressively 185% of the cybercrimes have increased across the country. Okay, so that's the one example. Okay, so here this statement says that over 15% of Indian adults fell victim to the cybercrime over past 12 months. So this was published somewhere in the December or so, April 2021. Any reason why these people are fell into a victim kind of thing? Any reasons? Can anyone say why reasons? Indian adults. So one is greediness. Okay, excellent. Lack of awareness. Excellent, sir. I wanted to see more responses. I wanted everyone to respond. I wanted everyone to make use of your chat box to interact with me. Please try to interact. Then only I can understand whether you are following or not following with me. All right, more time on the online. Excellent. Arun Kumar Singh, sir. You're right. Yeah, these are the some reasons and the casual approach to the technology. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So Indian adults means like you and me also can become this thing. So one is lack of awareness, and second thing is there are so many users who are using and who are doing the financial transaction, digital financial transactions at the first time on their devices. So that is one reason. Yes, sir, you are right. You are right. One is awareness, and many of the people are started using the various methods of digital payments. Right? Either it could be a QR code, or it could be a UPI, or it could be a QR code transactions, online transactions, and all these things. So many of the people, and on top of all these things, and many of the people are at home. In 2020, 21, and all these things because of the COVID. And many of the people have started using these matrimonial websites, or outside like it is looks like a matrimonial websites. Otherwise, there are so many dating websites where the people are into that dating website, either it could be male or female, and there are more number of fallen victim to those such kind of things. There was something called zero day vulnerability. You might have been heard about that zero day vulnerability. Okay, for example, the example of zero day vulnerability is without your intervention, you have received a WhatsApp video call from an anonymous number. Okay, and it shows like some kind of video, as it showed not deep fake video. So it will be shown as some kind of nude video. If at all if you are attracting and if you are attending that call, so they will be showing a few seconds of that video call, and they also will record that you are watching that video, okay, by using your camera only. Okay, they will do all these functions by using the single command, and again they will send the same video to you, saying like you are watching these videos, XYZ videos. So will you be able to pay money, or like you wanted to keep it and promote in your social media? So that is the kind of thing which has happened. whole lot of people in the during the COVID. Okay, so that's only for your example. I'm just telling. So this has happened in June 30th, 2021. So person who is become a deep, he is become, fallen to the fraudster who has invested 34 lakh rupees, 34 lakh rupees to get pension after his retirement. Okay, finally he was got cheated. So he transferred all these 34 lakh rupees in 36 consecutive transactions, and finally he understood like he was got cheated. He approached the police people. They have done investigation, but unfortunately, money was not recovered in any way. These are the some statistics with respect to the social networking usage across the world as well as in India. So 1/3 of the social networking and social media followers or users are there in India in any platform you take. Okay, whenever we are using these social media platforms, there is a whole lot of chance if you are not able to follow the privacy and security aspects. So one is name, mobile number, email ID. So all these details will go out of your hand if at all if you are in a social media platforms or social networking platforms. Is it yes or no? Whole this lot of information will go or not, like your photos, videos, because you yourself is uploading your birthday date. You once you upload your birthday photograph, immediately they will come to know, okay, Jagdish birthday is on XYZ date, and your email ID is already there. Hardware settings are already there. Your email service provider. Okay, so this is one survey stating that like 88% people real names are available, 65% of their real ages are available, and 49% of the people's mobile numbers are available, right? So that's survey states that. Okay, once that kind of information is available in a public platforms, these are the some risks which are involved in the social networking platforms. Photographs can be taken, altered, and distributed in other websites. Will it happen? Will it happen or not? Sir, ma'am, can you please respond? Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So it is a self-explanatory. I need not explain. And the exploitation of the personal information and which leads to identity theft. You all learned about what is identity theft in the first session. So once your information is available, as I shown you in the previous screen, your mobile number, email address, some of your address and all such kind of things. If that kind of information is available, it is easy for me to create a fake profile on your behalf, and I can send messages to all your friends. Okay, cyber stalking, social phishing, and cyber bullying. So these are some of the kind of attacks which happens when you are in a thing. So this cyber stalking is nothing but unwanted what do you say, unwanted stress will be created, and bullying, like they will try to bully you, and unnecessarily you will feel stressed. Especially these things will happen to the young girl and young boys and girls in the whether it is physical or in the online environment. So it is sometimes if the photos are altered, it may lead to blackmail, as I mentioned to you, and illegal content. So by using your photographs itself, we can by using your photographs itself, we can create some illegal content. So if I know, if I get your photograph, I can completely morph it, and I can change the face of you. I can change the face. If, for example, you have an excellent photograph, facial. So the same facial photograph, I will use it in some other location, and I will try to morph the image. And age inappropriate content, expose it to the sexual content. These kind of things happens, and few more risks which are involved in the social media. And younger generation tend to be more trusting. Like in the social engineering attacks, you have heard that they will try to create the trust. Later part, they will exploit it. In the same way, in the social engineering attacks also, you met one of your friend. Initially, they will try to discuss in the social media platforms. Later part, they wanted to try to move to these other platforms, like where instant messaging platforms kind of thing. And they're like you will be that once the discussion goes on, once you believe that person is true kind of thing up to some extent, and you will be sharing, they will be sharing the information kind of thing. We don't know like what kind of information they are sharing, but as we believe them, and we'll start sharing that kind of information. our personal information. So they will collect all that information and they will try to exploit later point of time. Arranging the meetings with online social contacts, which is dangerous. You have to look into it. If at all, if you are meeting any online person, first time kind of thing, try to meet them in a gathered location, like where we highly crowded locations rather than isolated locations kind of thing. And if it are children kind of thing, you have to ensure that they have to meet either with their parents or their elders kind of thing. But never ever try to meet any person in an isolated location. And believing people are they who they say they are, in their social networks. I can say that like I can use Jagdish Babu profile will have a Salman Khan photograph, which is a six-pack photograph. So but actually he is not Shah Rukh Khan, he is Jagdish Babu. Okay, so that's the kind of differentiation which we have tried to understand so that we can safeguard ourselves in the thing. Okay, a Maharashtrian engineer cheated for 57 lakhs in a matrimonial fraud and custom duty fraud kind of thing. You might have been heard about all these things. And here is another case, like a lady lost 71 lakh rupees. In both the cases, it has happened the same thing. So they are met other person, like in this case, like she's a 41-year-old lady, like she's a widow. And in this case, that boy is a software engineer who is working for some software company. And in a PSU, like public sector company, they're working and they're looking for some alliance kind of thing. And they met someone in the platform, and they exchanged some of the photographs and they have exchanged some of the information and all such kind of things. So finally they decided like they wanted to each other. And it went like this, like that boy who met this lady in an online platform. He said like he's working as a doctor in UK. Okay, so that is how it has happened. So this lady wanted some money and he gave some money. Later, what happened? Like he looted the complete money of her. The money is there in her account. He looted that complete money. How that cyber fraudster has looted this lady is. So they said like they have reached the Mumbai and they were caught by these customs and they have to pay the customs duty, whatnot. Later part, like not only a single person, they will be receiving the calls from n number of people. Some of them said like they're from the customs, they said from GST, they're from the excise department, what are all these kind of department, courier department. All these departments, they will be started calling them and they were asking you to transfer that amount into the various accounts. And this lady was transferred all that amount also. So but finally, like she realized like she was got cheated, approached the police people. So but one thing, like when the money is there in India, like our legal enforcement agencies can do something. If the money goes out of our country, it is always very, very difficult. So if the money is deposited in Indian accounts, and from there they will be transferring to the other foreign accounts, or once within India only. So once the money has come to one account, they will be sending it to the various UPI UPI accounts kind of thing. So the money is distributed to various accounts. It is very difficult to get the money back kind of thing. Okay, so these are the some things like which we have to be careful. So by showing all these and discussing all these aspects, we don't want to we don't want to create any terror, like not to access this kind of thing. You can aram say access all these things, but you have to take some preventive measures. Like what are the preventive measures, we will discuss now. Okay, so these are all to create awareness. These are the kind of things which are happening. So at least like whenever you are accessing or whenever someone is accessing, you can tell them like these are the some XYZ things you have to take care while accessing these things, so that they can be safeguarded, and you also can help them to safeguard by themselves in the digital world. So a boy behind the police officer, like who is having connections of more than 200. Over the night, he said like his mother was hospitalized. He wanted some money, so people have started transferring the money. The people who are there in friend list all started transferring the money. He got some money. Later, these two girls realized like he was cheating these people, and these two people came forward and gave a complaint. So we should really appreciate these two young girls who came forward and gave this kind of report to the police people. And the police people have investigated and they found like he's a fraudster, and they caught that fellow and kept behind the bars. He's a 9th class boy. He started misusing his classmates' photograph, blackmailing the parents. but they approached the police. Again, he was caught, kept behind the bars, and he was prosecuted. Like there are so many things which are there in the social media. There are so many cases. If you go to a Google and if you say like some cyber frauds, you will get a hell lot of case studies kind of thing. Okay. So these are the some of the things which are happening in the social media. But like now we have to see like what are the some preventive measures someone should take care while using these platforms, right? So are you all ready to do it along with me? These things, WhatsApp security. Are you all ready to do it along with me? I'm just going to tell you some of these things like how do we secure your thing. If at all, if you are already done, it's well and good. And if you have not done, if you want to do it along with me, so please open your WhatsApp account and try to do it along with me. So I'm going to discuss some of the privacy and security aspects. And I'm also going to talk about how do you keep the storage of yours. Okay. So those aspects I'm going to discuss here. Okay. Open your WhatsApp. Click on those three dots. Once you click on those three dots, you will be getting all these options like the new group, broadcast and all. The last option is settings. So click on those settings. Once you click on the settings, in the right extreme side, I have shown you some settings, account, chart, notification, storage, data, and all such kind of things. So once you click on that account, you will be having a lot of options. One is the privacy, security, two-step verification, and all such kind of things. Under the privacy, the first option is profile photograph. Under the privacy, the first option is profile photograph. So once you click on that profile photograph, you will be getting three options. Whether you wanted to open it to everyone, or only my contacts, or my contacts expect. So which option will you choose? Profile photo, if you want to safeguard your photo, will you open it to everyone, or will you go close it to your only contacts, or close it to your only contacts except? So which option will you choose, sir? My contacts. Excellent. Excellent. Any other responses? Okay. So please keep your profile photograph only to my contacts. Nobody. Okay, that is good. If nobody's option is also there, you can just keep nobody also. Nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen to you. Okay. So that is with respect to the profile photograph. And when it comes to the status, the next option is about, and next option is status. Once you click on the status, you will be having three options. My contacts expect and only share with your family, friends kind of thing. Okay. Status, my contacts expect or only share with the people. But I always choose only my contacts. I don't want to share my status with any other. So if it is still restrict, if you want to restrict myself, I will restrict to only my family and friends where I have some groups. You may be in some 200 groups, but only there are 4 or 5 groups which are very close to you, right? Like your family, friends, and your relatives and kind of thing. So if you want to share your status only with those people, you can share your status only with those people also. Okay. So restrict yourself to only my contacts. Next is groups. Next option is groups. So your contact number is visible to everyone, or my contacts expect. So restrict yourself only my contacts. Don't keep it to everyone. So if you are keeping everyone can add into their WhatsApp group. If you keep it only my contacts, they can't add you into their WhatsApp group. If at all they wanted to add you into their WhatsApp group, so you will be getting a notification says that Jagdish wanted to add into his WhatsApp group. So will you allow? Then you will be added into my group. Or if you are not interested, you need not to enter into that WhatsApp group. Okay, is it clear? So these are the some privacy settings which are provided by the platform. I have not done anything. Like what are the things are available? Those things will I'm just shared with you. Is it clear to all of you? Is it clear? All right. Any other? All right. Good. So the next option is correct, sir. Yes, sir. So next option is security. Under privacy, under the security, I don't want to discuss this fingerprint lock. Personally, I won't like that. And the third option is security. So if you click on the settings and three dots, settings and account, and you're already seen the privacy and security, and you have a third option is two-step verification. Once you click on the two-step verification, right extreme side, you will be you have a window. In that particular window, if you click on the two-step verification, that window will open. In that particular window, you select and click on enable. It will ask you to enter a two-step verification code. Two-step verification code. It is a 6-digit code you have to enter. So once you enter, the next step is it is asking you to enter the email ID. It is optional. It is not mandatory. If you wish to enter, if you wish to provide email ID, you provide. Otherwise, just ignore and move to the next step. So once you set that, and if you what ask you to enter the passcode, it will open, otherwise it won't open. Okay, so this is the security option which was provided by these things. See, if a thumb impression, if at all, if you are choosing the thumb impression kind of thing, so the thumb impression marks will be done. If someone come to know, they may misuse it. So that is only the reason I have not suggested. So I suggested to go for a PIN code, that two-step verification code. You can do that. So morning, someone is also asking like, what is the multi-factor authentication? So this is an example for multi-factor authentication. So what you have to do to open that, to enter into your mobile phone also, someone has to provide the PIN number or thumb impression, whatever it is, pattern kind of thing. So once that is done and you are came to the mobile device, if you want to open that account, a WhatsApp account, and if it is already disabled with a password kind of thing, unless and until you provide a password, it won't open. So this is a two-factor authentication. So the same two-factor authentication is applicable for all your online banking accounts, social media accounts. So I request all of you, please enable the two-step verification like this. Whatever we have shown it to you. The same two-step verification enable for all your bank accounts, for all your social media accounts. Especially go to the settings, like any of your online banking accounts, you can go to the settings and you can enable the two-factor authentication. Okay, if at all, if you have not done, kindly do the two-step verification so that it will be safe for you only. Once you provide the username and password, you can't enter. They will be sending some kind of OTP. So that OTP you have to enter, then only you will be logged onto the system. Okay, so that way, please enable the two-factor authentication for all your online banking account as well as for your social media accounts, definitely. Okay, hope it is clear to all of you that WhatsApp privacy security options is clear. Is everyone able to understand? Is everyone able to understand? All right. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, the next option is, you will be getting good number of messages, videos, messages, and all such kind of things. So there is an option now. This option is enabled for both individual as well as groups also. You will be getting a lot of media. If you don't want to download that media onto your mobile internal phone memory, you can stop them. It will be get stopped at the group itself. Okay, so click on any group, go to any group, click on the three dots, and select the group info. Once you select the group info, you will be getting these options: mute notifications, custom notifications, media visibility. So click on the media visibility. By default, it is yes. So what are the media which comes, like good morning, good night messages and all videos, it will come and downloaded, will be get downloaded into your phone memory. Will be get downloaded into your phone memory. If you choose no and click on OK, no media will be downloaded into your phone memory. No media will be downloaded into your phone memory. By default, yes. If you choose that default yes, media will be downloaded. If you choose no, no media will be into your memory. Images won't be downloaded, and you can safeguard your first, like you can safeguard your memory. Second thing is, like you need not to download all the media which comes onto your platform. Okay, so that way you can safeguard your phone internal memory. So if at all, if you're choosing this option into the groups, I told you one, into the privacy groups, only my contacts. If at all, if you are open everyone, so there are chances that you may get these kind of messages. Says that if you spend some 20 to 30, get 3,000 rupees, and you can participate in Kaun Banega Karodpati. Your number was selected for Kaun Banega Karodpati. You can just provide the details so that you can participate in the Kaun Banega Karodpati. You know that you have not shared your number anywhere, but still, if at all, if you are getting such kind of calls, you have to be very, very careful, right? To avoid all these things, if you follow those discussed privacy and security options, you can safeguard yourself, right? So this is with respect to the WhatsApp privacy, security, and some of the things like where you can safeguard yourself. All right. Is it clear? Is it clear? Good. So the next option is tineye.com. There is a website called tineye.com. So like in the media, you will be uploading lot of, in whether you are in Insta or FB or Twitter, wherever it is. If at all, if you are uploading a good number of your images, you have to check whether the images are used only by you or any other person. Images are only used by you or any other person. If you want to check that, there is a website called tineye.com. So click that tineye.com. There is a blue strip is there. There you can just click on upload. Once you click on that upload, you can upload your ISA image. Okay, for example, here I have uploaded that my ISA image, and I found that 10 people are using my ISA image without my knowledge. Now, since I know like who are the people are using that ISA image, I can talk to them like, why are you using that? Like, if you are removing, it is well and good. If they acknowledge, it's well and good, since it is my company email ID. But if it is your personal email, personal images, then you should definitely take it up. Okay, if they, you will be sending, you can take a screenshot and keep it with you. Later part, you can just send one message says that like you are requested to remove that image. If he is not removing that image, he may misuse your images. So you can just go and give a complaint to any police people. Then those people will look into it and they will try to help you out. If you want to find out any of the images are uploaded, are used, or misused by any other people, you can use this website to find out any of your images are available or not. Okay, so this is one website. Another website, as we all know, one picture will give you 1,000 words of information. In this digital world also, it is 100% true. There is a website called pic2map.com. In that website, you just go and upload any of your image. So it will give you the whole lot of information, like where you have which camera you have used, and what is the date, and what is the address, what is the city, and which country, what is the longitude and latitude, and you will be getting whole lot of information. What is the file information, date, GPS and location information, all such kind of information you will be getting through that pic2map.com. Okay, so you have to be very careful, like what are the photos you are uploading, kind of thing. You have to be very careful, like how do you upload this kind of thing. So keeping these things are in mind, but what are the reason why is, what are the smartphone you are using, which is equivalent to server configuration in 1980s and 1990s. So you have 128 GB, 256 RAM and the 12 GB RAM and 256 ROM and 128 GB RAM. All such kind of things are there. So which is having high resolution cameras and all such kind of things. So it is easy for cyber criminals to gather information about someone by using these openly or publicly available tools. Okay, so what we can do whenever you are in the social media, telling like you should not use any social media, you can aramse use the social media by following some preventive measures. If at all, if you are uploading any images, okay, try to upload low resolution images rather than high resolution images. For example, this picture is 13 megapixel, but if you use only 1 MB, 2 MB files kind of thing, so people cannot find or cannot grab any information from those files. Okay, so you can restrict yourself. You can restrict yourself uploading by uploading low resolution images. Try to upload group photographs rather than individual photographs, especially all young girl and women. Try to upload group photographs rather than individual photos, and try to upload low resolution images, and try to upload restricted information. It is not necessarily that you have to tell everything, like morning I got up 7 o'clock, 7:30 I went to walk, and 8 o'clock I went to restroom, 8:30 had a breakfast, 8:45 started, 9 office. There are some people who always do such kind of things, right? So it is not necessarily that you have to share each and every aspect of your life. some aspects like where you feel like it will be useful to the public, you can share such an information and restrict yourself. Okay, if you follow those things, it will be good for you, so that you can safeguard yourself. At the same time, you also can safeguard your entire family, and thus, it leads to organization also. Okay, so these are the some aspects. The same thing is available for the Facebook also, right? So in the Facebook also, you can secure yourself by you following these things. I'm not showing any demo, like I'm not going to, I'm not opening the Facebook because we were lagging already, behind the schedule. Okay, open your Facebook. Okay, there is a drop down arrow and click on the settings. Under the settings, you have first option is security and login, and you can just see that use two-factor authentication. I already explained like what is the two-factor authentication with respect to the WhatsApp. Same way, you please enable that WhatsApp two-factor authentication for your Facebook also. Once you enable, it will ask you before enter into the thing, like it will ask you the enter the passcode. Once you receive the passcode, then you will be logged in. So that is once it is done. So as I told you, like some of our information also goes in. You can just go to where you are logged in. So it will tell you like which system you have logged in, which device you have logged in, what was that IP address, and all such kind of things by finding out these things in your Facebook kind of thing. And you have settings, you have seen security settings. Under the general, like you have security and login. Under that, like you have timelines settings kind of thing. Please go through that thing and try to keep like whatever it is enabled, it is required, try to enable them to make it available to the public, or like wherever you feel like it is not necessary to tell to the public, those things you try to disable that. Okay, under the privacy options, okay, under the security and privacy, that drop down is there. Under that, like you have a privacy. So privacy, you have all these options. Who can see your friend list? Will you open your friend list to everyone? See, for example, you have a good network of people in your social media platform. So will you allow everyone to will you allow your friend list to everyone? Right? So there are some option, only me, everyone, restricted, and all such kind of things. But if you select only me, that will be a best option. And who can see your email address and mobile number, which is provided as part of your as part of your profile. So if you restrict all these things, only me, especially your friend list should not be opened up to the public. It should be restricted to only me. And your mobile number, email ID also should be restricted to only me. It should not be shared with anyone. And if you follow these things, it is good, so that you can safeguard your. And if you enable the two-factor authentication, and if you restrict all these things, only you and only yourself, 19% you can safeguard your Facebook account also. Allow search engines outside the Facebook to look into your profile. All right. So whether if you want, you can understand easily. If you want to click it, otherwise you can just disable that option. All right. So nowadays, this Facebook also capturing this. There is something called off Facebook activity. All right. So when you are on mobile device, if your Facebook is opened, so whatever the searching you are doing, what are the things you are doing, so all that information, it goes to the Facebook also. You have logged in, and you're logged in and just kept it like that. You are not activating, you are not active in that. But still, what that off Facebook activity will do is, it will capture your search information, and it will keep there. So that is how people will come to know like what is that you are searching, whether you are searching for a travel ticket, whether you are searching for a mobile, whether you are planning for a travel. So all such related information will come back to you whenever you are. So you have to disable those offline Facebook activity also. There they have given option. There you can go there and you can disable all those options, so that you can safeguard yourself in the digital world. Privacy and security options which are related to the Facebook activity, right? Like this, if you can enable those things, you will be get benefited. So in spite of that, if your Facebook account is hacked, you can use this command, facebook.com/hacked, and they will be asking some questions. You respond to them, and they will try to help you out. But in the place of hacked, you also can use report, REPORT, report. And if any duplicate Facebook accounts were got created, you can report them, saying like this is the account which was got created without your knowledge, and they will try to help you out by taking some of the responses from you. Okay, so you can use these things and you can protect yourself from these kind of frauds which are happening in the social networking front. Okay, so these are the some things. Be careful about your information you put in online. Remember, don't put your personal information like your family details, address, personal photographs, etc. And most of the sites and services provide options of privacy settings, which I just discussed with you. Be careful if you want to meet social networking friends in person, right? As I told you, don't ever click on suspicious links while logged out onto your social networking platform. Please be careful. Like, they will be asking some surveys, or they will be asking some feedback. They will be asking, they're offering some kind of discounted prices and all the things. Never ever get tempted to any such kind of things, and never ever respond, and never ever provide any of your information, right? So that you can safeguard yourself. Someone is asking, so how a bank, what are the number is given in the bank? So he's getting the calls on that thing. All right. There are chances that the banks may also, the bank itself may wanted to introduce you like these are the policies are available. Or sometimes you might have been given that your mobile number, you are visiting any shopping mall, any movie theater, sir, lucky draw. Can you please provide your mobile number, email ID? Immediately you will provide. If not by you or your spouse or your children, that is how our information goes out, and that is how they will try to come back and contact with you. Okay, so please be careful. Never ever share any such kind of information in any public platforms kind of thing. Okay, so we will just move on to these things. Which is the right ATM machine, either a top one or a bottom one? Can you please tell your choice in the chat area? Which is the right ATM machine, either a top or a bottom? Please tell me. Top one, okay. Top one, top, okay. Any other? Anyone say it is a bottom? Anyone say it is a bottom? Top, bottom. Okay. Vishwa Prasad. All right. Yes. Any other? Bottom. Okay. Rohan Bandare. Right. Top is the integrated part of the machine. Right. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you all for your wonderful responses. So the top ATM machine is the right ATM machine. Bottom ATM machine is a skimmer. Right. So the top ATM machine is open to the thing, and you will be seeing some kind of blinking where you can insert your card. But whereas in the bottom machine, you can insert your card, but there is no blinking kind of thing. That means there is a skimmer. There is a skimmer. What is a skimmer? It will capture whole information, right? So the top right side, you can just see that that machine will capture your card details, like what is your card number, expiry date, CVV, and what are the data is there on the card electronically which is stored. So that data can be retrieved by using the skimmers. Okay, so these are some sophisticated ATM things are there. So there a skimmer is attached, in the left side you can just see the left side extreme machine. So there only a ATM thing is there, and on top of it they have attached that skimmer. So what that skimmer is doing, it capturing your card details, as well as it is capturing your PIN. And immediately after that, by using that data, they're cloning the card, and they will misuse that card. So this is how the cards will be cloned and misused by the fraudsters. Okay, so careful, like whenever you are visiting any ATM machine, whether these kind of things are there, especially when it is in a city, no problem. Outskirts of the city only, you have to be a bit careful, like whether any skimmers are attached kind of thing, right? So skimmers, where you can see the example of skimmers. All right, so please be careful while you are entering any of your details kind of thing. All right, try to enter your details in the by covering that. Okay, because of the COVID, like everyone, all of us are giving the card number, giving the credit card and telling the PIN code kind of thing. Try to avoid that. Okay, whether it could be petrol pumps or restaurant. Yesterday I was in one of the restaurant there, like some one of the senior person who came to the restaurant, and who gave the card, and is written his number and is gave it to that fellow. Okay, to withdraw the money kind of thing. All right, So if anything happens, like it is always difficult, no? So be careful while doing such kind of things. So whenever you are doing any online transactions, morning also this question was came in the question and answers area. So please ensure that these are the three things which has to be there. So one is that HTTPS, and the second thing is the padlock. All right. Morning also it was shown it to you. If you click on that lock symbol, you will be getting this kind of digital certificate. So you have to see whether the digital certificate validity or not. Please ensure that like you should have HTTPS lock symbol, click on the lock symbol and see the validity. So in this particular certificate, the validity has gone. And in spite of that, if at all, if you are entering the details, you have to be very careful. But now they have latest certificate which is there that is valid up to 2023 February. Okay, so I have not replaced to show it to you, but I have not replaced. But you can just always check this the validity and all. If that validity is there, HTTPS is there, lock symbol is there. On top of all those things, you have to ensure that URL is correct. Never ever type URL in Google and try to go. Never ever do that. Please try to type onlinesbi.com only if at all. I'm just giving an example. Whether if it is an HDFC bank, you can go to HDFC bank. If it is ICICI, you can go to ICICI. But what I mean to say is never ever type it in a Google and click on the link to proceed there. Try to type your entire URL and enter your details only. So be careful. If it is a HTTP, other people can see your password. If it is HTTPS, other people cannot see your password. Morning onwards we were telling, once again I'm repeating this. Please be careful. Okay, you have to ensure that HTTPS lock symbol, padlock and certificate kind of thing before you enter any of these things. And fake email IDs also. For example, online SBI is there. Okay, instead of O, if I replace with the 0, it's a gone case. Okay, it is almost looks like this. So I think I don't know like how many people have received this message kind of thing. So dear customer, your SBI account has been suspended. Your verification, please complete the KYC by clicking here. Any one of you received these messages? So recently HDFC messages also we are started getting. Any of you received these messages? Please say yes or no. No. Any other? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. If at all, if you are having an SBI account, definitely you will receive this message, sir. If not your account, at least for your Yono bank, all right, whatever it is. So this message has come. You can just see like what is the sender ID? What is the sender ID? Will anything will come like that? So here itself we can understand that it is a fraudulent message. You should not respond. You should remove it immediately. I ignored it. Excellent, excellent, sir. Excellent, Sudeep, sir. Okay, so I received that message immediately. I just clicked on like what, let's say like what was that thing. So immediately it opened the SBI website. It is almost like a fraudulent website. So they were asking my username and password. They sent some OTP. I entered the OTP and it is asking me to wait. Please, we were doing the transaction. In the URL, can you see it very clearly? SBIupdate.com and lock symbol is also there, but you have to be careful. Right? So it is not my website. As HTTP is there, padlock is there, but still it is not a safer website. That is only the reason I'm telling you. You have to be very careful about the URL also, besides the HTTPS and lock symbol. Okay, if at all if you are entered, there are chances that people may lose the money, right? So you have to check that. For example, this message I have received it, JKSBINB, like that, like you will be receiving that kind of SBINB kind of thing. But whenever you are receiving any messages with the mobile number kind of thing, you have to be very careful. And especially whenever you are receiving these messages beyond office hours and holidays kind of thing, you have to be very, very careful, right? So these things you have to take care while you are using any of these things. Okay, when you are storing your information, your credit card, debit card information, any of the any of the online shopping e-commerce platforms or travel platforms, everything. So our kind request and suggestions to all of you is, whenever you are doing any transaction, enter your details. Once the transaction is over, kindly remove the payment method. Kindly remove the payment method in any e-commerce or any website, any so-called website also. Okay. So once you're doing the transaction, enter the details. Once the transaction is over, remove the payment method. whatever the payment method it is, right? So that has to be followed strictly. The reason why we are suggesting strictly to you is, the same mobile is used by you, your spouse, your children, our children, and everyone, right? Once you come back from the office, you will keep the mobile over there, and other people started may using that, right? Children may start using that. If at all, if they are downloading some games kind of thing, after some levels of the games, it will ask you to deduct some money. Okay, so we will be in the game anxiety mode. We won't read like what the message it is. The moment you say yes or no, it immediately it will detect, and you will be surprising is only our part, right? How the people will deduct my money without OTP, without CVV, without expiry, and all the things. So all those CVV, expiry, and all those things are required only for domestic transactions. Those details are not required for international transactions. Clear? International transactions, they won't ask any of your credit card, debit card, CVV, expiry, PIN, and all the things. They just wanted only your card number. So most of the online games are, fraudulent games are intended to collect the money from the people. And most of the games are developed outside India, which are publicly available, and people are, downloading such games. So you have to be very careful while downloading such games. Okay, and keeping all these things, the RBI is also come out, whenever you are getting any new ATM or a debit card or credit card, so they will disable all the options. Once you receive the card, you can log on to your account and you can enable. If you want international, you can enable. If you want domestic, you can enable it. So most of the people won't do any international transactions. Try to remove all the international transactions. That means disable international transactions. Enable in domestic transaction either on your credit card or debit card, by setting some limits. So how much limit you wanted to keep it on an online e-commerce platform or POS, whatever it is, that NFC and all those things. The banks are giving the option to you whether you wanted to set the limits, how much you want to set the limit. Okay, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh based on your credit card limit. Okay, those things you can enable and you can safeguard your things, right? So those things, you please try to do it. Log on to your account, go to the settings, try to enable, disable all these options, and try to set the limits so that you can safeguard your things. Okay, hope it is clear. Hope it is clear. All right. Yes. Okay. So these are the things with respect to the online financial transactions kind of thing. And next aspect, as I told you, I thought of I will show my my website. Okay. So this is my infosecawareness.in website. All right. If you type that infosecawareness.in, you will get this thing. I'm just keeping it in the chart area also. You can just click on that. So once you click on that Infosec awareness, you will be getting the pledges. If at all, if you want to take a pledge and download your certificate there itself. And second option, you have all this whole lot of information. And third option is join our 2-hour course in cyber hygiene practices. Click on that 2-hour cyber hygiene practices. So that course can be accessed either by you, your colleagues, your friends, family, and everyone. Right? It is up to you, like how do you promote yourself and how do we keep them secure, everyone in the cyber world. So this thing is having 3 aspects. Okay, you can just go through that. Click on login. If at all, if you are registered already, you can give your username, password, and you can access. And if you want to register here, try to register and access the course. Try to register there and access the course. Once you complete that course, once you complete that course access and give your assessment, then you will be getting a course completion certificate. Then you will be getting a course completion certificate, which is useful to all of you. Okay, that is with respect to the e-learning course. And with respect to the students program, like we will send within a day or two, we will be sending the assessment link to all of you. In that assessment link, you can use your registered details. Like someone has registered in the month of September, and today also is is registered for the session. But you have to see like whether which email ID you have used. So you have, what I mean to say is like you have to use the right email ID which you have used for registration, and the name which you have used for registration. Those things we will validate and we will allow you for the assessment. If you those two things are got tallied, you can enter into that platform, assessment link platform, like which we are going to send it to you by tomorrow. And you can complete your assessment, you can give your feedback, and you can download your certificate there itself. Okay, you can download your certificate there itself. So that is the process with respect to get your certification kind of thing. All right, is it clear?